All right, folks, it is a new day. And what does that mean? We're still working on that. I tried to be proactive and get these doors aligned. And man, I've been at it for, I think, a couple hours, actually. And no success. I am not winning. I have done all the proper things. You got to do is, like at this pillar, usually you shim that one. And when that's tight and the rest of the body's tight, you tighten the front and it pulls and does blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I think I should have done that before I did floors, because I come to the conclusion the body's too rigid now with the firewall and everything else. It don't tweak anymore. It's solid. So I am moving on to plan B. So I mean, everything I have done has not changed a darn thing. The doors are still just, you know, if they're out 1/8 of an inch or something, that's fine, like in my eyes. Anyways, I guess I have to get drastic, and the only thing I can think of doing here is I'm gonna have to cut this and just let this thing relax back a bit. And I don't know, like, I don't care, like, I'll just fill this with weld. That'll be okay in my eyes. As long as the dang door is open and closed, that's more important than I have to fill up some stuff with weld. So neither side's winning. So I'm working on that right now. That's the kind of the goal, is just to get the doors aligned. The body's bolted. I don't plan to take it off. I'd like to do that and just do some proactive stuff, and that'd be just run the brake lines, get the brake, because in the big picture, I don't plan to take the body back off. So I'd like to run the rear brake lines. I'd like to get the front brakes on and a mount made. I gotta figure out how I want to do that. I guess I want to make a mount here, that way I can kind of run the brake lines down and up. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess basically do that, get the steering. I got to make a drag link, I think that's the right term. I got this one here. The one I had in here was too short. So do that. I guess I'll clean up these fender braces, get those on. I'm just gonna bolt down this cowl. Yeah, just stuff. I think I'm just gonna piddle with a few things. This wheel just, it keeps bothering me all the time. I may have to address this. I think it's fine. I keep thinking the wheel is weird, but I think the difference is the other ones, people when they lower them, they run like a huge, like a 700 or a 750 tire. So it almost touches, it sits from here to here, like it just fills the wheel well. And I am just guessing, man, like if I moved it back an inch, maybe that would be an acceptable thing. That makes for a bunch of work. It's a lot of work, but not a lot of work. Essentially, I got to move my rear spring mount back, and I'd have to extend my arms on the trailing arms. I'd have to add a little slug to that. So I'm thinking I really want to do that because, well, in my head that all made sense, but the more I keep staring at it, there's no fixing it. I can add more to the fender, like I can bring this down and I can kind of fix this, but then this fender has like more bulk to the back of it and nothing in the front. So that just makes a really weird thing. So I guess in the big picture, we'll just eyeball it, and I think I got room in the back. I can go back about an inch. So after that, it kind of is just going to be what it is. So anyways, what are we doing here? I guess we're going to start hacking up our doors. Actually, not so much the doors, the B pillar, just so I can get my doors to line up. Once that happens, I'll be pretty happy. Well, seeing as I am out of ideas, I don't know what things hold on here. Oh. I mean, it's just bolted on top, and there's just one little bracket going through here, so slice and dice. It's got a little bit of tension, so hopefully that's not a bad thing. Well, that came loose. Now what? If I had a porter ram, I should do that. I think I gotta just push that pillar away. We gotta make a little bit of gappage in here. That's kind of my thought. Actually, come up with a different plan. Let's just see if I tug on there. What'll happen? What do you think? Whoa, see that already? Okay, there's a little bit on there, nothing crazy. No, not that good. Okay. Let's try a little more over to one side here. Well, you can see the doors. Maybe you can't, but I sure can. That is pretty good. A little bit more. If we're violently doing this, we should try a little bit more. May as well get it as nice as we can get. So that's there. I think. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Door needs a little. There's a little of something going on the bottom, but we can fix that after. For now, we got to weld that up. That should fix everything there. So I don't know if you've seen the gap before. Probably not. But when I pull this back, that was, I don't know, it's not actually that bad, but I guess it depends what you're basing it on. So technically that's not the right way to do it, but we don't have any other choice. This technically is my only choice. All right, let's fill some gaps. Well, this part is not cooperating very well. That's not bad, but up here is not so good. So I think it needs a little tap. A little bit of persuasion. Oh yeah, we're getting there. I think that's as good as our persuasion is gonna get. Try a little bit more. I would like it to fit a little bit better. I don't think it'll get any better than that, so. Well, at least the bottom's good. We'll just work with that for now. I'll do the top later. As long as this part is good and the door opens and closes to check out. So that's pretty good. See if it stays. Can't see what's going on there. Still need more. Yeah. Golly. Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't over-weld everything, like solid, that I have to cut it again. I guess I gotta stretch it way further, like uncomfortably far. Because that thing must have rebounded in and yeah, whatever. We'll fix it. Alrighty, folks. Let's make that line up like it's never lined up before. It might be. I should maybe do a cut on the other side because maybe that's restricting us right now. All right, let's chop it up. Oh, that's such a better fit. I bet you when I do the other side, it'll be good. I think that's all I got to do. I doubt that'll do anything here though. No. But that is perfect, but we need more than that. But maybe things will bend to our will a little better here. All right. Whoosh. That is. It's probably. I don't know. I really don't know what it's fighting with. There's not much there. I mean, I guess there's a gap. Okie doke. What happens? Jeez Louise. Maybe it'll be better when I do the other side. That's just nuts. I don't know. We'll try the other side and then we'll see how good or bad. I mean, I'm cool with the line. It's just the door still, it's crappy to open. Jeepers, eh? Golly. Oh, there's no way that's right. Like that is just peeling this thing in half. Like the door's lined up, but now the body's like pulling out. Not so good. Not good. It's not working the way I thought. Not the best of plans here. This one's okay though. Like it's still sort of staying in the realm of where I want it. All right, the game plan is to pull this post in to get this to close up. Because there's a lot of weird stuff happening now. Well, probably a little too much. Okay, I feel that's good. That is still bad, but I'm wondering if that's me. I don't even know now. I heard of flipping hinges. I don't know if that's still a thing or what, but. That is way too much. Golly, there's gotta be something else I gotta do. This is totally not working out the way I thought. Like, look at that. My door is sort of lining up, but it's like just ripping the whole body apart. Like up here, it's actually splitting everything. I don't know. This is kind of crappy. I think I'm just gonna end up having to modify the hinges. Purely not the right way, but golly. A little bit helped, but I need a lot of help here. The other side's good. Well, I can't open it now, but the door is actually staying the way it's supposed to stay. So, like this side overall worked. Oh, I think I'll have to, a little bit of wood in there. Like this one's dropped a little, but you know, overall, take your wins for what a guy can get there. But the other side, not so good. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I have, I don't know. I'm just chit-chatting away here to myself, but that's just too much gap. That doesn't make sense. And it's like split and popped off up here. I know I don't have any wood in there, but that doesn't help me at all right now anyways. Like the other side, I have only half of this is what I pulled, so I'm gonna have to do a happy medium and from there, yeah, no way, not even that much. I guess this door wasn't as bad as the other side. It's just, it is bad, that's the problem. Golly. All right, well, I'm gonna keep plugging away here, see if I can get somewhere. This is gonna turn into an all-day endeavor at the rate I'm going. The other side's not so bad, but I bet you now it's screwed up because I popped the, it's not tugging on the other side. I mean, if it stays in this realm, I'll be pretty dang happy, but I don't know if it's gonna. We'll see. We'll see. I'll give myself a modest little bit of room on that side, and then, I don't know, we're gonna have to just start working with these hinges and try to figure something out. Maybe I'll have to adjust them and make them adjustable like a modern thing. I think it's just because my floor, I scooped myself by basically building all my floor first. I don't know. Well, silly me, right? I don't know. I didn't know. Now I do. And I'll know that for next time. Well, the fight was hard, but what was I doing? We got our doors to work. They're not bad. This one I was tearing apart because the handle was broken. I had these, but they don't really fit well. I have a set of like 30-31 doors. I might try to take the handles off of... No, they're wrong. Because, yeah, that's right. This is round, so it doesn't fit. So I might have to order one handle because I don't really have one that fits on this side. And in that, I kind of semi-wrecked this thing while I was trying to get it all apart. I got it now, so that part's okay. But in the process, I think I broke the springs for this. Like this spring is half works, half doesn't work. So I know you can get just the springs to rebuild these. There's really not much to them, so I kind of order those. This regulator doesn't work. None of my other doors have one. That one doesn't work. I might be able to free it, but I think they're fairly cheap, so I might just order 2 window regulators and 2 door rebuilds for the springs and 1 door handle. Or maybe I'll order 2 handles so I just have a spare one. I think my T can use one. I think I actually just put a brass knob in there. But maybe I'll just order 2 handles so they're done and nice and matchy match. This one's in, the door works good, it closes now. Yeah, we just violently just beat it with a hammer. That was about the only way I could see that working. So anyways, the doors are on, they fit good. Well, they fit good enough. I'm pretty happy the way they are. Can't change much about it now. It is what it is. Other than this thing, I did it good, and then somehow I broke the spring, so I could have somehow semi-gotten by without having to fart around with that. I also missing, well, this side actually has the internal latch. I think the other one's broken or something, so this thing doesn't quite get there. Or it needs some adjustment, I don't know. Yeah, I think it needs adjustment. And this door always hangs. I gotta weld this. There's a crack in here, and I think that keeps hooping my door. See, when I give it a little tug, it wants to go into its place, so I have to do that yet. Anyways, on that note, we got that done. Next thing I'm gonna do is, you know what, I wanna just see what this looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna fart with that yet, but I'm gonna pop it off the perch. I'm gonna let everything go back 1 inch, because I think that's all the room I really have in here before my spring and stuff hits stuff. And we'll see if, yeah, it's for sure gotta go back. Bummer, man. Don't do as I do. That just didn't work out. Okay, I'm gonna pop that out. I'm gonna see what that looks like. And at the same time, I'm gonna fix up the back brake line and run some brake lines, I think. We'll just try to get everything run up to the front. Well, not a whole lot's been going in my favor here. So, what do we do? I actually dropped this, moved this back. This thing looks, I don't like the look, but it looks right. Like it looks better, like it's supposed to. I plan to get a much taller tire. I'm not running like a bias ply though. I'm sure I'm running radials. These are 14s. I'd like to run like a 255, 70, 75. I don't know how much taller that makes that. I think it's a 29-inch wheel. I don't know. I'm guessing. That must be like a 29-inch wheel. Somebody's gonna correct me. I don't have the specs of the tire here, so. Anyways, 29, that actually seems pretty tall when I think about it. 27's probably more right, I think. It's what I would be shooting for, so you go to happy medium. That should fill the wheel well up pretty good. 27, well, not a lot, but it'll do a better job. Anyways, well, so that's done, but I have to modify that. I was gonna cut these arms and do everything, but the bars actually are in the realm that I can probably just drill new holes and be good. I'm kind of okay with that, and then we just have to remake the spring perch in the back. So I'm pretty okay with that. It seems pretty straightforward. I'll make a new perch, I'll just weld it on, and I can just reclamp the leaf. Not a big deal. Up in the front, I put the calipers on, but the brake lines are, I guess I bought for an S10, and I don't really know what the one Speedway U's are, because they're long. This one, by the time I put it in here, I'm like super short, and then when I steer out, this thing wants to be like 8 inches away from the chassis. So I looked on my truck, my burnt one out there, and that one had disc brakes and it went like this, but I had it like coming up on top of the chassis like that. So those things were just crazy long. So I got to figure out what those are. I have to order that. I thought I had a rear brake line. I don't have that, so there's really no point running lines. I mean, I guess I can, but I'd rather have the brake lines here so then I kind of know where they're going to go instead of guessing where they're going to have to go. So I have to do that. So I'm kind of hooped right now, thinking I'm just going to take a little break and call it a night. An early one. All right, well, I've gone completely overboard. I'm redoing the spring perch in the back, so essentially what my plan is to do is, this is gonna go up. Essentially it's gonna repurpose 2 of the bolts that were the original perch, and it's gonna move the spring over, but the spring's not gonna be like perfectly centered in here. It'll be offset a little. I don't know if that's good or bad, but the link bar should hold everything in place. As long as this thing's centered here, it's not gonna go anywhere. So anyways, I made it like crazy overkill, but you gotta hand it to that table. That's a 3/8 cut straight off the machine. I didn't do anything to it. I got a little bit of dross, but that's probably because I'm playing with the speeds because I just want to get a nice true hole there. But yeah, that's pretty good. The 1/4 inches, like that's, I haven't touched it. That's straight off the table. So I don't know. That's a nice, I don't know. That's a super nice cut. Anyways, I got very minimal. This is hardly anything because it actually just comes off like that, but I like to just hit all the edges. I want to burn this to the other plate in the back. So you see me drilling it. I did that already. I've re-drilled the perch. It moved back. There was enough meat on there that I was able to drill the holes to hold the control arms, so I didn't have to cut the arms. But I basically want to beef everything up because the hole's like drilled into this vicinity. So I'm going to put these side anchors on, and I'm just going to weld them on, and then I should have a lot of meat to hold the arms. You'll see in a minute when I actually start gluing all this together. The plan is I got the holes made, so I'm going to run them through here, put this on. We're going to weld this on really good, and then I can kind of drop the axle out of place, and I'm going to get this thing bolted in. We're going to weld the beans out of it, and then I guess bolt it together, and technically it'll be good. I have a little bit of tweaking to do with the shocks after, but the upper links, there was a long stud anyway, so I got to cut that stud back, and the shocks are going to work as they should. So anyways, let's clean this up really quick, get them in there. Okie doke. Let's get some lights on here. I gotta splash a little paint. You can see I kind of like beefed up that mount over here. So I drilled the holes, didn't like that, so I just added some plate, welded those in. So, because I was just on the edge of it. So that part, like we beefed the beans out of that. We got our shocks are mounted, they're in, sway bars on, hooked up. I had to make a little bushing for here, I didn't show that, but because this hole was for a taper, so I had to make myself a bushing so this thing doesn't want to walk. Back here we got our new spring mount out of that beefy plate, so that's all done. We're pretty tight in the back, but we got room, so it's not the end of the world, but it's there. So like I said, we got that, put the car down. That's just a much better look. It's about the way it's supposed to be. Maybe supposed to be back a little more, but this is going to be my compromise. So I've done all my ordering. Now I have to wait. I waited for hardware. Basically, I got some springs coming in. I could maybe fix these, but I've just got some regular window cranks, so I can actually maybe just fix these and keep them as spares. What else did I get? like the springs for the doors, the regulator. Like I could make that beam, but I'm doing an order anyway. So the glass with the channel, I ordered that. What else? Mostly all just door stuff. Door and front window, like the crank. I'm gonna have to make a frame. I don't think I have one. I'll check my other cars back there because I'm okay with stealing one if I use it. So I think there's one on there, and the 31s should be the same. That one's a 2829, the coupe. I'd rather not touch that one if I don't. But we'll need to do a window frame in there. I got to do something with this hinge yet, but I realize I have this little bit. All the hinges and stuff I have are just wrong. They don't work. So I feel this will work. I just got to make the bit to go back to bolt into the body. So I'll probably just do that. But we're making progress. I'm waiting for all my wheels and everything, or sorry, my brake lines and stuff to come in. So I've ordered that. That should be here like next week. I have no idea when all the door hardware stuff comes in, but at least the doors, like that was a fight. At least the doors are semi in the zone where they're supposed to be. They're not 100%, but they're, like this one's a lot more down than I want it to be, but it's just gonna have to be what it is. I mean, maybe I can get it a little more. Quite possibly. I might be able to tweak that one a little bit more, but because the other side's better. It's only, you know, like this thing's like 3/8 of an inch down. I'd like that to be within 1/8 of an inch, but I think the only way it is just to keep beating on that hinge and try to bring the back of the door up a little bit. But I'm thinking we're getting close to a haircut. We're almost there. I got some gaskets, but I ordered some stuff for the motor. I believe most of the motor is going to be fine, but I feel like I'm just going to throw some heads on it, some springs. I'm going to steal some sensors. I'd like to see if this motor would run. This is the one that was originally my Buick when it was boosted, so it's pretty much ready to go for a supercharger, but I have to get all that garbage together and figure that out yet. I got to weld the intake onto, or weld that supercharger bit on top of that intake, and then I got to drill for injectors. I finally got my fuel rails and stuff, so I have some of the right bits now. I had bought some fuel rails, but now I realize I need different things. Like I've ordered injectors and a few things like that, and then now I can't use like a regular fuel rail, like a standard intake one, so I need an external regulator and a bunch of things like that. So, but this essentially is going to sit on here, but I have to drill. These intakes don't have any holes, but I bought one that had these flat bosses, so hopefully I can figure out how to drill those things straight, and then boop, we can stick those things in there, figure some way to attach that onto it, and then we're good to go. Weld this thing on top of there. Oh yeah, sounds easy. Anyways, I think that's about where we're at with this thing for now, for this video. The doors weren't so bad. The unexpected thing was just my goof up when I was building the car, but you know what? It's only steel. I mean, I screwed up. I made a couple new mounts, and I fixed it. It's not the end of the world. So, anyways, I think that is where we are going to leave this one. So, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one where maybe we're going to chop this thing. I don't know. I'm thinking it's close enough we can make this happen. Alrighty, later, folks.